This Dorset Naga chili pepper plant was planted in late January, and now it's mid-August and we're finally ready to harvest. Now this is our first harvest, but I'm hoping to get at least 2, maybe even 3 harvests from this plant before the frost comes, usually around mid to late October. In previous videos, I showed you how I grew this plant from a seedling all the way to this monster in this 24-gallon half-barrel container. But today is all about the harvest because we're in a competition with Chump over in the UK, who is also growing this variety, the Dorset Naga, to see who can grow the most ripe peppers on a single plant. Now, I do have some bad news. We actually had 2 plants in different types of pots, and in a recent video I showed you the other container, the self-watering pot, and that plant actually snapped off at the base of the stem in another storm that we had here just about a week ago. So it's really unfortunate. I didn't provide enough support for that like I did here on this plant. It just started to grow very quickly and became very top heavy, and with heavy downpours and strong winds, it broke off. So I was pretty devastated about that. That plant was actually becoming one of the biggest plants in our entire garden this year, and it was showing some great promise despite being in a smaller container than this one. As a result, we're down to this single plant here. This is our only Dorset Naga, but thankfully it's a monster. So let's get to the harvesting. I'm gonna harvest every ripe pepper that's on the plant right now, and there are quite a few. I'm guessing there's maybe between 75 and 100 ripe chilies, but let's get counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 64. 103, 104. 137. 138. Does that count? I'm gonna say no. 138 ripe chilies. Some of them are not quite ripe. They're starting to change, but they'll be fully ripe in a couple of days, and I just wanted to get them off the plant. These will ripen fully through to red, but I want to take a picture of all these so you can see. Hopefully I can get a good picture so you can actually count them yourself if you really want to. But I counted 138. I'll count them again. And I have harvested just a few off of the plant to make some hot sauce earlier in the year, so I harvested a total of just 3, so 141 so far. Last time we did a ghost pepper harvest video, the chilies were a lot bigger, so we needed a much bigger bowl for about 150 peppers. This bowl is smaller and it's overflowing, but it has 138, so almost the same number. These Dorset Nagas are quite a bit smaller than the other ghost pepper we grew in the past. So there's no more bright red underneath the canopy here, but plenty of green chilies coming along, and hopefully having gotten these off of the plant, it will pave the way for a bigger harvest later in the season. The weather is just perfect recently, a decent amount of rain, but a good amount of warmth and sunshine. So I definitely think we have some great prospects for a huge yield off of this plant. I'm not going to add any fertilizer. The plant is nice and green. It seems to be growing more and more every day, so I'm not going to bother with that unless I see any signs of deficiency. I did amend the soil early on with all-purpose fertilizer, and the soil itself had plenty of nutrients in it, which I think is enough to get it through the whole season. The only other thing I might do at this point or in the next week or two is add some support, maybe another string down below where there are new branches forming, and maybe one up top as well, just to keep these branches supported so they don't break off like our other plant did. If you're curious how I've grown this plant from a seed to this monster, we've created a playlist for this plant from seed to harvest. There'll be several videos, and it will cover the entire process of growing out a Dorset Naga. Check out Chump's channel. He's got a huge plant over there as well. Hopefully we'll get an update soon on his progress and his yield thus far. And with that, I'm gonna go have lunch, and I'll see you in the next video.